What is going on, my friends? Another day, another video, showing off comic books the way we do here. With your boy King Midas Collects. Let's get right into it. I don't know what else to say. I just want to show you guys more of like the collections and what was in them. Nothing over the top, nothing big. And of course, as we did in the last video, I'm just gonna finish it off with a banger of a variant because we're gonna be the variant guy, trying to be anyway. So let's go through some of the books in this collection here. Just there was an assortment of cat books. I guess I wanted to show one of them, but it was like a lot from like issue 280 upwards of up to 370, minus the big issues. There was no John Walker stuff. Anything related to John Walker was like pulled, or rather, it had already sold. I like going down that line of thinking as opposed to like thinking that, hey, anytime I buy something or I'm buying collections, these collectors are already pulling like the bigger keys. I don't think that's the case, especially if they're resellers. I just think that as they're selling them, those are obviously the books that people want, so they're going to go first. So, and it makes sense in that regard. Next up, this Wolverine Saga book. I just think it has like some cool artwork on them. Don't know anything about them. But there's barcodes on them, so I'm assuming they're newsstand. So we have 3 issues of that there. Classic Silvestri on this cross issue here. X-Men 251. Good to see that. Show off another X-Men book here in a minute. But West Coast Adventures number 3. It's kind of cool to see Tigra and Craven fighting there on the cover. Random Web of Spider-Man issue 66. It's just a newsstand. I don't know who the cover artist is on that. Some Predator books to add to the collection. I try to add whatever Predator stuff I don't have already, and I just absolutely love this cover. I think this cover is sick. Pretty cool Life and Death Predator cover there. Same with this. This is just a cool cover here. Plastic Man. Was it number 2? Number 1. Yeah, it's number 1. Cover B here. Him just like poking the guy in the eyes and smiling about it. It's just a fun cover. We have the Crow, Flesh and Blood, issue number 2. Good to see that. Oh, that's just the bag that's messed up. I was like, oh my god. Is it all tore up? What's going on? Some Tomb Raider love for those Tomb Raider collectors out there. So Tomb Raider Epiphany, issue number 1. I have, minus the museum edition books, Adam Hughes actually did a couple of museum edition covers that were different. They were unique covers, so I have to add them to the wish list, right? But for the actual run of Tomb Raider, I do have all the Adam Hughes covers, so nice to have that knocked out. Here's a pretty fun Joe Jusko cover here, Greatest Treasure of All, number 1. And then this one is Dynamic Forces like variant here, Scarface's Treasure. And on the back, out of 5,000 copies, because they did COAs for everything, this issue 213 out of 5,000 there. All black cover, and it's actually still nice. No spine ticks on it. Spinal, as Mike Tyson would say. X Factor issue number 25 in the newsstand. Big deal there with Apocalypse on the cover, Archangel, yada yada, 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, yada yada. Punisher Max issue number 1, the second printing in the black and white there, Steve Dillon goodness. Thor number 1, second print. You definitely want the second prints for issue 2 through 4. One More Day storyline. Throw that in the trash. Now, issue 544. We do have all the Jurjevic ones though. There's one for, is it Sensational Spider-Man with MJ, and then can't remember the other one, but it has Mephisto on the cover. Man, Sensational and Spectacular maybe? I can't remember. We have ASM 656. Yeah, this is the armor suit that he made during that. I'm trying to remember what the tagline was for this series. I can't remember. But that was like a brand new suit. So first cover appearance of that. We have this awesome Invincible Iron Man number 1 variant. by, I think this is Gronoff, right? Adi Gronoff. Hope everyone has this in their collection. Chuck Norris Karate Commandos #1. Just a fun Chuck Norris book, right? Y'all got a favorite Chuck Norris joke? I think one of my favorite ones is like, Chuck Norris doesn't cut the grass. He dares it to grow. I don't know why I like that one, but it's so stupid. DC First. This nice little Kevin Nolan cover, as it says on the bottom. I don't know. Whatever. It's here in the collection. Cool. I'm showing you guys stuff that you've never seen before. Yay! Or most of this stuff. Some of the other stuff, you know, are like this Uncanny X-Men 168 in a newsstand. I mean, these are staples, right? Just staples. And I show you this one because, oh, actually, this one is that's mid-grade. Never mind. Anyone a fan of these anime and Arctic Press books? Y'all are familiar with these? Ninja High School #1. So Eternity Comics, and then went over to AP and Arctic Press. I know that there's like a small contingency of people that like that series there, and it's still going. Same with this one, the Prom Formula. I think it's like in the same vein. Yeah, full color Ninja High School miniseries here. So these Eternity manga style anime books, Gold Digger, Ninja High School. The thing that Gold Digger actually made it to 300 issues is pretty impressive, to say the least. So that in itself is kind of cool. And then they had all sorts of swimsuit specials as well. So kind of unique, something that you don't really see. Just kind of fun to showcase, right? I was able to finally finish off this run here of Morbius. So issue 9 and issue 8 there on the back. So fun to have that. And issue number 7 and issue 6. So finally finished that Morbius series there. We have the Tales of Teen Titans Spotlight here with Cyborg #1. Alice Cooper. This is kind of fitting because Alice Cooper #1 came out last week, I believe. So this is a Marvel series, Last Temptation, issue 1 and issue 2. So if you're a fan of Alice Cooper, check out the new Dynamite series. Just some pretty cool Judge Dredd covers here. I think they were pretty cool. A lot of the retail incentive variants from year 1 and when they rebooted, when IDW took over the license, are pretty cool covers. I would suggest checking them out if you're a fan of Judge Dredd. I just think they're pretty striking and pretty cool. Like I remember I showed you guys one where it was Dredd versus Predator versus Alien, and they did like the panoramic for all 3 of them with like just the close-up of the faces. That is fire. A lot of fun showing you guys those. Judge Dredd Classics. Alright, throw those over there. Superior Foes of Spider-Man issue #1. This book is a lot of fun. If you never read this series, this one purely for reading, it's hilarious. Nick Spencer absolutely killed it with these. And I believe there was actually even 2 volumes of it. It was pretty popular. Final issue there, 15, I believe. All right, next up, I actually went out of my way because I saw this Wild Blue Yonder. This is a Third Eye Comics variant, and bought some of the ratio variants. Showed you guys in the previous video, maybe a couple weeks ago, a month ago. Because they were only like $2 on my comic shop, but they're fantastic variant covers. So shout out to getting this in the collection and seeing that there's a Third Eye variant to get some of the other books. Pretty cool looking series here. Blood Brothers, just a random indie book that you just don't see. So I wanted to share that. Don't know how this ended up in here. I don't know if I showed you guys this already. I think it got shown on Instagram or something, but Hyperspace Stories, issue number 8. This is the recent Dark Horse. I think the Hyperspace Story books are for kids. But Kylo Ren on the cover here, so there's 2 copies of it. I think this book, out of the entire series, might do something. I'm not sure. It just seems like with Kylo Ren on the cover, you don't really get them there often. Maybe. Who knows? Y'all know this. A-Team, issue number 1. Good to see that. Not in the newsstand, but didn't own it. Happy to add it to the collection. I think it's like a low mid-grade, about a 6570 copy of that. Some early Walking Dead, issue 45. issue 50. And then I can't remember, I think this is Project Zero, Patient Zero. I can't remember the name of the book, but this is like a obviously a Walking Dead homage there with Michonne carrying the two zombies. But it was a book that Marco Cicchetto was drawing. Was he? Yeah, he was drawing it. I don't know who. I can't remember who wrote it. Gotham Central issue number 1. Again, another just fantastic read. I think there's currently a TV show based on that, right? That's going that a lot of people aren't even watching because it's not like it's just not. Well, it's not advertised, right? I think there's like a couple of other shows either on HBO or on Max or on CW that aren't getting the attention that it should anymore, just because there's so many comic book properties out there that one, it's hard to keep up, but two, it's just not getting that exposure as it used to. We're like, oh man, we got to catch this show. It's just not like that anymore, unless it's like something big like a Loki, right? Y'all catch episode 1? Let me know. Well, I can talk about it in the Discord with the link down below in the description. Check it out. This one's interesting. Anyone hear of Mullet Cop? So I think this one is like one of the rare incentive variant, or not an incentive variant, but just one of the rare variants there with whoever the hell that character is. And then the main issue number 1 there. Just look at what is this? Scout is on something or on to something, right? Philadelphia issue number 1. Y'all love vampires, you got to read this book. It's fantastic. That Skybound X series, we have I think these are 1 in 50 Virgin black and white variants here. So obviously this is the first appearance of Clementine in comic books. So issue number 1, these are just kind of the different black and white incentives there. Nailbiter number 1 commands a little bit of value. Good to see that book if you're a big horror fan. First appearance of Madcap, yeah, issue 307 in the newsstand. There's like 10 of these, so if you check out deepinkcollectibles.com, I believe I have a couple listed on there. And if not, they're in the my boxes over at the flea market, 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie. Check it out. It's always a good time. I can't show you that book. maybe check out the Instagram and I'll probably post that book. I'll post it on there. It's definitely a M-rated book. I'm sorry. It's so fun to just flip over things and be like, oh yeah, that book, because there's so much junk over here that you kind of, it gets lost in the shuffle a little bit. There's a method to the madness, as people like to say. However, sometimes things fall through the cracks and you just kind of forget it's sitting there. They need to be put away and cataloged accordingly, but in the meantime, they are in piles. So sometimes you just get surprised with things you haven't seen in a while, and that was one of them. Let me continue on. We got more of the Skybound X covers here, just the black and white Charlie Adler Clementines. And the last one there. These are supposed to be big 1 in 50 books, but that Skybound X thing wasn't really, it didn't take off, or nobody cares, right, about it. So yeah, I have hard to find incentive variants that no one's ever going to pay premium for, but they're just cool to have. All right, this one a lot of people like for whatever reason. This Brad Street here, Punisher 31 with the sharks in the background. For whatever reason, this one has some value to it. Then we have Daredevil 232, God and Country here. When you guys remember the name of the character here that was introduced, I can't, for the life of me, can't think of his name right now. Here's a newsstand copy of it, but this is like during the Born Again storyline, so this is a character that may show up in the new series. We have a beautiful Lady Death here. So anytime you see any Lady Death covers there are at least $5 to $10 books. They're just provocative. People like that. Hey, Police Academy number 1. Cool to see that here in the newsstand. Again, you guys can tell, what this, a lot of police-oriented covers here. This is a cool, amazing Void Trip from Image. This is just a random series that came out in 2021, I believe, but homage, of course, to ASM 129. So everyone does this all the time. good to see another homage there. Pretty cool incentive variant here. And an Unknown Comics variant for ASM issue number 2 with Miles and Peter on the cover. Legacy 873, so this is the 2018 volume. The Nick Spencer was writing that, right? 873. I think this is wrong. It says issue number 2. I looked this up. I'm gonna look it up for you guys as we're running out of time. Yeah, it says it's issue number 2. I don't believe it is actually issue number 2 because I got the number. I remember looking this up and the number was wrong. Go to the back. Go to the back. Go to the back. What issue number is this? Oh, it is issue number 2. Okay, so this is the current. All right, this is the current volume, right? That John Romita Jr. is drawing. Who's writing it? Zeb Wells. Anyway, it's not Legacy number 873. I think it's supposed to be 893 because during the current volume they hit milestone issue number 900. So there you go. All right, that's it for that pile. Show you guys one of the best David Mack covers of all time. One of my bigger variant grails that I have. I love this book. I don't think it's ever leaving the PC. I do have to get it graded because it is absolutely a 9.8 candidate. Hell, it looks like a 9.9 candidate, but we know it's going to get 9.8. This is Daredevil End of Days, issue number 3 by David Mack. You know why this is awesome? Because other than the little purple splash in the background, it's not your typical David Mack cover, right? David Mack, all his books seem to kind of look the same, and the purple will remind you of David Mack. But like Elektra sitting here, like just holding the gravestone. This is also an homage to when Daredevil was holding the gravestone for what was that issue? So right after the death of Elektra. Was that issue 182? You guys know what I'm talking about. 172, whatever. He's holding the gravestone in the snow. So homage to that. This is an absolute beautiful cover. I love sharing it. And let me know if you guys actually have this one or you're looking for it. I mean, again, it's not going anywhere, but it needs to be graded. Absolutely needs to be graded. All right, cool. Glad you guys enjoyed this video. I had a blast laughing about that one book. So tune into the Instagram. I'll probably show that one on there and just you guys can be like, whoa, what the hell is this book, right? Who published this shit? All right. Do all that great social media stuff, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Until next time, Bagging Boredom.